The reproductive system. Kumusta? I am Cherise, an agriculture student, and in this video, our discussion will now focus to the reproductive system of the animals. Well, this discussion will be divided into two. Why two? Because we're going to discuss the male reproductive system and the female reproductive system. In short, para sa bayi o laki. Or atong i-discuss ang kabahin sa bayi o sa laki. But before we dig to the main thing, let us first talk about the importance of the reproductive system and its function. Well, the reproductive system is very important nga naman because naani siya yung role. The role of reproduction is to provide for the continued existence of the species. It is the process by which living organism replicates themselves. Imagine na kung walay reproductive system, dili mo replicate, walay offspring, maundang ang generation mo extinct. Karon atong hisgutan ang iyang function. First, kay ang function sa female reproductive system. So for the female reproductive system, I mean iyang role. Ang role is, one, to produce gametes that must be mature. Second, conception occurrence. Third is nourish and protect the embryo. Third, produce offspring safely delivered. Samot na kay sila mo'y magbuntis. So, in addition is conceive again. So, human yung example, human yung panganak, malmabdos yaw. So, how about sa laki? Unsay role ni ini? Possible ba nga ang mamabdos ang bayin animal without the laki na animal? Well, it's not. So, the role of the male reproductive system is the following: to produce ample amount of viable sperm, and of course, to be willing and able to deliver semen into the reproductive tract of a female. Now, let us move forward. We are now here down to the male reproductive system and their function. First, we have the testes, is paired primary sex organ of the male, and the main function are for the production of the sperm. So, semen ferus tubulus, muna siyang terminology, and the secretion of the male sex hormone. Ang term is interstitial cell, and it also called androgen and testosterone. So, testes in birds, atong i-compare ha, are located within the body cavity, while in the mammals, like itong mga mga unggoy, they lie outside the abdominal cavity in a pouch of skin called scrotum. So, sa bird, kay nasa cavital din ang sa kay sa mammals, kay in the body. So, kung saan man ang scrotum? Scrotum is the external covering of the testes. It functions as a regulatory organ of the testes. Also, it provides the testes an environment which is a few degrees Celsius, so 2 to 5 degrees Celsius, cooler than the body temperature. So, mura siya gaputos, no? So, through the action of dartos and external cremaster muscles. So, what is cryptorchidism? Cryptorchidism is a failure to descend the testes in the scrotal sac, while the spermatic cord is the one that contains spermatic veins and artery. So, let us discuss the adjustment of testicular temperature, kanang pag-adjust sa testes depende sa temperature. So, action of dartos muscle increases or decreases surface area by contracting or relaxing the scrotum. So, action of external cremaster muscle is drawing testing nearer to the abdomen for warmth or lowering heat loss. And then, the epididymis is a long convoluted tube which connects the vasa efferentia of the testes with the ductus deferens, vas deferens. Its functions are the following: transport, concentration, maturation, and storage of sperm before the ejaculation. So, ductus deferens or the vas deferens is a muscular tube which merge with the epididymis. So, it extended upward to the abdominal cavity and finally empties in the urethra during the ejaculation. So, ejaculation, kanagani magkuha og semen. So, this muscular tube propels the spermatozoa from the epididymis to the ejaculatory duct in the urethra. So, next, what is vasectomy? So, vasectomy is the term cutting the vas deferens. It is the most usual operation performed to produce sterility where sterility without castration is desired. Okay, so what is penis? So, kung mano tayo discuss to sila tanan, diri na ta sa penis. Penis is an erectile tissue whose main function is to drain the urinary bladder of urine. So, i-drain niya. It is an organ of erection and ejaculation and serves to introduce the spermatozoa into the vagina. Thus, called organ of copulation for it has a copulatory function. So, copulation siya nga organ, kaya na siya function nga sa copulatory. So, glans penis is a rudimentary organ located at the tip of the penis that aids for sexual drive. So, what is sigmoid flexure? Naka-S-shape niya siya. Ang length niya naka-lengthen sa penis. So, it proposes net, contains the decomposing urine and source of bore odor. Then, what is retractor penis muscle? This is paired muscle which retracts the penis into the shield after extension. So, human sa extension, kay ma-retract siya. So, what is the mechanism of penis erection? So, erection of penis prior to copulation occurs when more blood enters the penis by way of arterial supply than that which leaves by the veins. So, the increased blood volume kay makadako sa penis and makanhimo niya nga torgid. So, ejaculation, ato siyang ejaculation pero sa dogs. So, during coitus, the bulbus glandis swells markedly as it becomes more and more engorged with blood. The swelling causes the tie or lack in dogs following the ejaculation. So, what is urethra on the other hand? Urethra is a canal starting from junction of the ampulla and ends at the opening of the penis. It serves as a common passage, dalan of semen, o aligyanan sa semen o sa ihi. And then, makita na siya sulod sa penis. So, next is the accessory sex glands organs. So, what are this? The accessory sex glands are the following. So, ampulla, una. Ang ampulla kay enlarged portion of the ductus deferens just before its entrance into the urethra. It serves as a temporary storage of sperm until ejaculation time. So, muna siya storage area. So, kana if absent na siya sa bore, kay na siya sa lain na animal. So, semina kay ang animal nga naani niya kay ang dog. So, seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicular glands are paired which are located on either side of the ampulla. They produce a secretion high in fructose which act as vehicle for sperm transport. Kana siya, wala na siya sa dogs. Dayon naa sa boar or sa laki nga baboy. So, sunod we have the prostate gland. This is an unpaired gland which more or less completely surrounds the urethra. It produces a viscaous secretion which stimulates sperm's activity and gives the semen its characteristic odor. Dayon ka na siya, wala na siya sa cocks. So, let's move on to the cowper's gland. So, na siya sa bulbourethral gland. It's a small, gamay siya nga paired gland nga naa sa either side sa pelvic urethra. It gives alkaline reaction that neutralizes and prepare the urethra for the passages of sperm. Now, so mo to siya tanan sa male reproductive system. Let us move on to the female reproductive system under functions. So, muna na to discuss ang iyang role. So, first organ we have is ovary is a paired almond in shape organ situated near the uterine horn, just behind the kidney. So, behind siya sa kidney, behind likod. It produces ova that secretes the female sex hormone called estrogen and progesterone. So, what is FSH? FSH causes ovarian follicles nga mo-grow siya o mo-produce dayon mo-produce og mas daghang amount sa estrogenic hormones, while LH on the other hand causes rupture of follicles and liberation of ova or ovulation, and initiates the formation of temporary endocrine organs or the corpora lutea in the ovaries. Well, we have the estrogen. Kung saan yung estrogen term, it controls the development of all the female secondary sex na nagka-characteristic and play a major role in mammary gland development. So, naa siya dakong role sa mammary gland or sa development sa mammary gland. What is progesterone? Progesterone is important hormone sa pregnancy. It prepares the uterus to receive embryo and in maintaining the pregnancy. Next is we have the second term, infundibulum. This is a portion of the uterine tube na adjacent sa ovary whose expanded form is funnel-like structure. So funnel, it picks up the egg when released by the ovary at the time of ovulation. Now, since we discussed about ovulation, what is oviduct on the other hand? Oviduct or fallopian tube is a structure that conducts the ova from each ovary to the respective horn of the uterus. Then, nag-serve na siya nga site of fertilization and site of early embryonic development. Then, uterus on the other hand is it is an organ which serve in a nutritive and protective capacity for the fetus in the case of gestating animals. It is the site of deposition of the additional egg membranes in ovoviviparous animals. The uterus of the domestic animals consists of a corpus means body, a cervix, the neck, and two horns. The relative proportion of each vary considerably with the species, as do the shape and arrangement of the horns. There are actually 4 types of uterus, which includes the following. So, unsa maning upat ka type? First is the duplex uterus. Duplex uterus means two cervices, no uterine body, horn completely separated. So, ang sa example ani, ang example ani kay rabbit, rat, apoy mouse, pwede po guinea pig. Then, next is buccornuate uterus. Kani siya kay ang cervix, the uterine body is very small. Example ani kay pig. Next is bipartite uterus. So, uterine body prominent. Ang example ani kay mga baka, iro, iring. Ang ikaupat kay simplex uterus. One cervix, then body is very prominent. So, ang example, ani kay ang tawo, kay walay horn. Next, we are moving on with cervix. Sometimes considered as the neck of the uterus. It effectually closes the external opening of the uterus and nagaprotekta sa uterine o ang sulod sa uterine. Then, it serves as a sperm receptacle in certain animals. Next, we have the vagina. this is the primarily an organ of copulation. It serves as the receptacle for sperm, mudawat, in many species, and it serves as a shelf for acceptance of the penis of the male during copulation. So, muna yung mudawat ang vagina. It also comprises a part of the birth canal in the animal at parturition kanang pagpanganak kay diha man siya muagi. So, it is divided into una, vestibule, the outermost part. Next is the posterior vagina na mo extend from urethral opening to the cervix. Then, the hymen is formed between the vestibule and the posterior vagina. And of course, the vulva, or it is also called as urogenital sinus. Then, it is the common passageway for the products of reproduction and for the urine. So, the vulva of the mammal is comparable, compared to the ventral proportion of the cloaca of the birds. Also, the vulva of the female is homologous with the scrotum of the male. So, the clitoris, on the other hand, is a rudimentary organ found at the ventral commissure of the vulva. So, na siya sa tunga. It's also homologous to the glans penis in the male. So, that's it. We end it here. I hope you learned something from the role of the female reproductive organs and the male reproductive organs to the different parts and its function. See you in the next video. Adios.